Howdy, Carholics! We're talking small cars, but these aren't your typical econoboxes. Forget the smart car. We're going back to a time when American inventors looked at a fuel pump and said, nope, I can do better. Today, we're peeling back the sheet metal on 7 tiny American icons, each one a weird, wonderful casualty of the country's relentless pursuit of size. Let's start with a car so rare, you'd need a time machine and a museum ticket to find it, the 1950 Martin Stationette. Now, James Martin, the guy behind it, wasn't just an inventor, he was a serial innovator from New York. He didn't just build a small car, he built a philosophy on 3 wheels. Here's the crazy part. The Stationette had a monocoque design, no axles, no dampers, and a body made from wooden panels on an aluminum frame. It was powered by a tiny 1-liter, 4-cylinder engine, making a respectable 40 horsepower. But the real mind-blower? It had an automatic gearbox attached to the engine via a magnet system. Martin called it the economy car of the future. The future, unfortunately, wasn't buying, and only one was ever made. Investors just didn't share the vision for magnet-powered transmissions, I guess. Next up, meet the Brogan Doodlebug, a name that just screams 1940s charm. Inventor Frank Brogan, out of Ohio, saw a gap in the market, an economical runabout for American housewives while their husbands were off fighting or working. This diminutive convertible was the answer. It had a puny 1.5 horsepower Briggs & Stratton engine, perfect for a quick trip to the shops or for a little cake and tea. Brogan churned out an estimated 30 of these cute little buggies. But here's the surprise. He only ran the numbers after months of production. He realized he was losing about $100 on every single car. Production was immediately halted. This is a classic case of passion overpowering profit. Moving into the electric era, way before Tesla, we had the Autoette 1/4-ton pickup. Autoette, based in Long Beach, California, was slinging electric microcars as far back as 1936. Think about that, pre-World War II electric vehicle manufacturing in America. You might question if this tiny thing, initially powered by a Dodge Car's 24-volt starter motor, is even a real car, let alone a pickup truck. But here's the key cultural detail. The Autoette was allowed to drive on the pavements in some cities. That's how small and non-threatening it was. They made hundreds until the 1970s, probably the only way to keep them from being flattened by a full-size Ford F-Series. Flash forward to the 1970s oil crisis. Mike Corbin, a brilliant electrical engineer already making motorcycle parts, decided to ditch gas. His answer, the Corbin Sparrow. A 3-wheeled, single-seat concept that had the industry buzzing. The Sparrow's Achilles heel? Batteries. This was the dark age before lithium-ion. Mike had to stuff 13 heavy lead-acid batteries into this tiny car, which crushed its range and its production hopes. They eventually got it into production, but only about 295 were built before the company went bankrupt in 2003. It's a tragedy of timing. The Sparrow was a great idea that just needed 2 more decades of battery tech to thrive. Okay, let's talk successful small cars. Enter Crosley, one of the most successful small car manufacturers in the States. Their Farmer Road from the 1950s was designed to be the Swiss Army knife for farmers. It looks like a Willis Jeep shrink in the wash, but it had serious credentials. The secret sauce? It had a transfer case for towing, a 3-speed manual, and twin tractor-like wheels on each rear corner for better traction. But the coolest trick of all was a power takeoff, or PTO, point at the front, letting it run water pumps and other farm implements. It was a car, a tractor, and a power generator. And they sold around 850 of these ingenious little machines. Now we jump back to electric with the Sebring-Vanguard Citicar. Born from the fuel crises of the 1970s, this pocket-sized, wedge-shaped wonder, out of Sebring, Florida, was the EV of the masses. Early versions had just 3.5 horsepower, enough for about 40 miles between charges. The Citicar is a huge historical footnote. It long held the record for the most production of an American electric vehicle since 1945. That is, until the Tesla Model S finally surpassed it. That quirky, plastic doorstop of a car from the 70s held off every other EV contender for decades. It's proof that sometimes, simply being there at the right time is half the battle. Finally, let's talk about the OG American sports car, the Crosley Hotshot. Launched in 1949, this was America's first post-World War II sports car. Crosley was all about small, economical cars, and the Hotshot was their fastest statement. With a tiny 700 cubic centimeters four-cylinder engine, it could still hit 80 miles per hour. Crosley even exported them, wearing a cross-mobile badge to avoid confusing them with a British company. But here's the sad historical takeaway. By the early 1950s, Detroit's Big Three started building bigger, faster cars for nearly the same price. The Hotshot and Crosley itself simply couldn't compete with the American juggernauts that demanded more size and power. These 7 cars are a testament to the fact that American innovation isn't just about V8s and big chrome. It's about a stubborn streak of inventors who dared to think small. Which one of these tiny titans is your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want more deep dives into the forgotten corners of auto history, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you down the road.